Changes coming to the food bank. Yeah, they announced that we don't have to sign in no more. We're gonna have a food bank card. Can you imagine that? A food bank card. Cannot believe that. But that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna eliminate the sign-in sheet because people sign in, so their signature don't be legible. So they said they really can't do a head count and figure out what people are eating hit this and what people are eating that, how they distributing their food out, and what's the age group, and that comes out to this food bank so they can cater their trust to go into that stop. And if you got more senior citizens at one, you have different food for senior citizens versus having different food for young people coming to another one with kids and all that stuff. So you got food bank that serves a lot of people with kids. They get more of the kids stuff items versus the people that don't have kids. They get less of the kids items, which makes sense because they can depending on the computer system. So depending on all the eggs in one basket with the computer system, they're gonna issue out like almost like a bridge card. But instead of it being some food that you can get, it eliminates you signing in, and it also tracks where you go as far as how many food banks you go to. But you're supposed to be able to use it at any food bank, and no more restrictions. Like some food banks have restrictions that you had to be in their zip code, and then they have, they probably still have the same thing. Some people don't give up 30 boxes or 30 bags, or they have a head count when they run out of food, so they can't serve everybody all the time, which is understandable. But the changes are coming to the food bank. I guess they're getting modernized. They don't have to collect the paperwork anymore. I don't know if they eliminate a job, because maybe it was a person's job to do that paperwork. The computer could use the computer. The computers are good for collecting data, but it's also good for people losing jobs because of the computer system. And it takes jobs away too. But anyway, it's coming. So we're all going to have a food bank card. You got your bridge card took the place of food stamps. Used to be the time you had food stamps, and that was like paper money. It was like monopoly money. That's what people used to nickname it. They had the same printout as real money. $5, $1, $20, but it was monopoly money. But people used to hustle that. They used to sell them as food stamps, paper money. The stores would be hustling people for it, and people used to sell it out on the streets. I got $50 on my food stamps. I sell them to you for 40 or 30. So you made $20 profit off them because they was hustling like that. They treated it like it was real money, but it was traded in for real money at the stores that qualified to do it. Now they got the people who hustling the bridge card, and they got so much money on their bridge card, and give them a discount. So there's still people out there hustling it. But the stores get hip to it, and they turn you down, so you can't do that here. You might do it one time with one customer, but you could just hang out at the store and do it with all the customers, and their job is to run you away because they're tracking how many times that car gets used in that one store, and they know if it gets used 4 or 5 times within an hour, a person is hustling that car. They might just let you use it maybe twice, or 2 or 3 times at the most, but if you use it 5 or 6, 7 times within 1 hour, then you're selling your bridge. You're selling your bridge card for money. So you're using your bridge card to make money. That's the hustle. So with this year, you cannot use this to make no money with. It's strictly for data, collecting where you go, and what's your age group, and how many kids you got in the family, all that. It's a tracking system. Say they're using it so they can distribute the food more usefully. Otherwise, food would go to where the demand is at. And so you got a big group of people that got a lot of kids. They'll get all that food that's for kids, and then the older group won't get it. So we'll see how that works out. But that's what's new for 2019. It's coming on. And everybody going to be aboard by 2020. And everybody have their card. If you ain't got your card, they're not supposed to serve you without the card. So the word is you get one time to lose the card. But then if you lose the card the second time, it'll cost you some money. That's for sure. So we'll know how this work out in the near future. It might be something good. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same in life. So that's something new coming in for the food bank. Yep, we're going to have a card in our wallet. You got to have your card on you. And if you lose it the first time, you get a free one the second time. But you lose it the third time, you have to pay for it. So I guess it's just like your driver's license or the bridge card. I don't know how many times you can lose a bridge card. So I don't know nothing about that. So we'll see if it's going to be thumbs up or thumbs down in the future. But that's how they're doing it. And then the nice part about it, they take off restrictions with the zip code. And then that's a good thing. Excuse me. Then you go to food banks in your area. And then you're not restricted to some food banks that go by zip codes. So when I check out the Thursday food bank, I'm going to ask them about that. But anyway, that's what's going down with the big change at the food bank. And the Monday church, we had a pastor there at the Monday morning church, afternoon really, starts at 1 o'clock. So he decided he wanted to do some preaching before pass out the food. Well, the people ain't used to that. They just used the person putting the prayer down. And then they go with the food. Well, he went to telling his story, and then sure enough, somebody complained about it. And they complained about him going to the Bible and spending 15, 20 minutes out of their day listening to him preach, about some stories out the Bible. So they said that if you don't like hearing the stories about the Bible, because everybody's not a Christian, so they don't have to listen to it, but they can wait outside and let him do his thing inside here, because it is a church, and you're in that church building. Then you can come back in later on, and you still won't have to be excluded from the process. So you still be in there with your raffle ticket doing your thing. So that's going to show you people always complain. Because one brother, he was in there complaining about how long it takes because he might have missed out on his stop with Cabin Soup Kitchen. So he worried about that. So people did call in and complain about them having a sermons preached to them instead of a prayer. They used to do that short prayer, and sometimes it'd be less than 10 words, sometimes it'd be 15, 20 words. But they wasn't used to having no sermon, so they complained about that. So that was the complaint for this money at the food bank. And the Thursday food bank, I hadn't noticed it. But the three amigos that run together, the three senoritas, they're the elderly super senior citizens that runs together. They had been sitting on this bench over there that's out in the hallway. And I hadn't noticed that they wasn't sitting in chairs until this week. It took me a couple of weeks to pick up the fact that they took the chairs away from people at the Thursday High Drama Food Bank. So they had took the chairs away, because I know my man asked to put a chair outside, and they told him no, and he got offended. But now I see why they told him no, because they already told the people that comes early, because they come there early, it's 11 o'clock. Make sure they don't miss out on the truck, so some kind of truck come in there early, and they benefit from that, and they'll wait all the way up to 1, 2 o'clock. So it's a long wait for them. But they were sitting all three on the bench for this month, for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It took me a while to figure that out. It did. It took me a while to figure that out, and I figured out that they had already took away the chairs. First they had asked people to wait outside, then they put them back inside, then they took the chairs away. Now they go one step farther, and they said, we're going to shut it down for another 2 months. Towards the end of this year, we're going to start back up the new year, January of the new year, and we're going to have you wait outside. Once you sign in, you can wait outside, then we'll call you in and have everything ready for you. So they're going to change their program all the way around. So I guess they're tired of people complaining. They want to make things real easy and simple. And they're doing it like another program does. There's another program, you sign up, you never go in the building. You wait outside, and then when the 3 o'clock comes, around 3 o'clock, they ain't guaranteed to be at 3 o'clock. All depends when the truck come in. Once they open up that door, you got to be there. If you ain't there, you just miss out. And then if there's somebody else there, they'll give that box. Somebody else that didn't sign in early, have them sign in late, and they give that box away to someone else. So they might just change their stuff around like that. And then if you ain't got no car, you're waiting outside in the cold. So some people that walk in, you got a lot of people that walk to that food bank. They're going to be out in the cold. But things will change, I knew that something was going to happen sooner or later. And so it's not so much as sooner, but it will be later. They're going to take that 2-month layoff from the community, that's us, and then they're going to come back with a whole different program next year. So they already let people know they had made out a flyer, and they getting strict about it. And they said everybody gonna have the card, so they wanted to talk about the card first. But then I found out about it later at the Friday food bank, so somebody had went and got a card from another food bank, so they all issued them out. So they ain't just one food bank gonna be issuing them out. I'll probably find out this week Thursday the food bank I go to once a month. When I'm, when they already got a computer system, so they might be up on the card as far as making the card for you. So there's probably a machine you get there, you can make a card out. So you can process the card right on site. And then you get the machine to scan the card too. I don't know if you're scanning the card or you put the numbers in. Probably scanning the card. You got a card, it's going to be scanned. So you're probably going to get a scanning machine. I haven't used it yet, so that's something new. But we'll see how it works out. And that's what's happening with that. And I went to the Friday food bank, and they doubled up last week because they made about 30 boxes, about less than 15 people. But this week, they had made up, I came about 9:30. And it starts at 8 o'clock. And then they were breaking down the boxes by head count, but they still had people coming in. But this week they had a pastor come in and preach because they had lost some of their loved ones. They had lost their pastor and a couple of deacons. So this preacher came in to preach, and then this time they ran a little over, past 10 o'clock. So we had to hear the sermon, and they was telling about how she went to the funeral for them and how sometimes people pass away, they be in threes. So in this case, the pastor and two deacons had passed away pretty much at the same time. They're right around at the same time with each other. And then, it's ironic how people say that when you go to a funeral, they always talk about how a person looked in their casket. And to me, that's not even relevant. Regardless of whether a person look good or don't look good, you just want to remember them for the life that they live, not how they look. We are a society that's hung up on our looks. Okay, all the way to the grave. We worry about how a person looks. All the way to the grave. So that's very ironic. I hear that all the time, so that ain't nothing new. So I don't put nobody down for doing it, but it's not always relevant. What's relevant is how that person lived their life. Whether they had a good life or a bad life. And how they lived their life. So this one lady, she was, they asked us to bow our head, take our hats off, and can bow our heads for prayer, or at least don't say nothing. So I don't bow my head, I always look around, see what's happening. There's one lady at my table I was sitting at had said something to this other lady about some lottery tickets she had gave away. The pastor preaching had to talk about how how you give people stuff in life, what life gives you and stuff like that. So when she was interrupting, the other lady that runs the program felt that she was interrupting the pastor and not being respectful to the point that they were praying for their departed loved ones. And I understand that because that's the pastor of the church, and those are two deacons of the church, and they, church members. And then, she came over and she let them two ladies know that was not right for them to be talking while their pastor is preaching, so I have some respect for the church. The ladies did not get offended. They didn't go back off on her, but she did mention that to them. So, she's been an outspoken person, but when you're at your church, you get territorial, and it's just human nature to do that. Be territorial about the property that you're on, but your church property. So sometimes you got to know where you're at, and she was right. And, you could have held that up. That was something you could have waited till after the pastor got through preaching. But she wasn't thinking. She didn't think much of it. They had a little side conversation going for 1 minute, and it was back and forth. So she got a little offended about that. But she did bring it to their, call them out, and brought that to their attention. So she ain't got no problem calling nobody out. I'll tell you that much now. But anyway, if she ain't new to the food bank, she'd tell me that they did it at another church and they're doing it at this church. So they really expanded their food bank program. And most time when I get there on Friday, if I'm getting the same thing I got earlier that week, I got a rule. If I can give it away at the food bank, I'm giving it away. If I can't give it away at the food bank, Then I take it home back. I'm not gonna eat it, or if I don't want to put it in the refrigerator, I'm gonna cook it for the dog. If I ain't got no room for it in the refrigerator, I'm cooking it for the dog. It becomes dog food, especially the meat part. The rest of stuff, I just be trying to give it away. That's my rule of thumb now. Don't even take it, bring it home. Just give it away. That way you ain't got to worry about trying to get rid of it later on, sitting there hoarding it, looking at it. So that's what's new with the food bank. So hopefully this new system work out for everybody. If it don't, then people are gonna lose their cards. But I'm gonna check it out at other food banks. I got a new one to check out here that's not really new, but I've been meaning to check it out on Thursdays. But it didn't match up with what I was already doing on Thursday. I already had 2 to go to, so I didn't need 3. So this one is on Tuesday. I don't know if it's every week. Heard that where it was at. It's in the neighborhood, so I'm gonna check it out for this Thursday. And after I come from that other one, the high drama one got a couple more weeks ago this month before they shut down, and that better be the one I substitute for Thursday. Still got the Thursday morning event to go to earlier, about 11 o'clock. For me, 11 o'clock. For some people, it's 8 o'clock. But for me, I get there around 11, so I'll be last in line. I don't mind. But anyway, that's what's happening with the food bank for this month of October 2019. And we will holler back at you later, amigos.